The Snyder Cut is upon us. So in this video, what I wanted to do was give a little bit of history of the Snyder Cut and talk about how we ended up where we are today, and also talk about my general feelings towards the Snyder Cut in terms of what I'm expecting. But first, cast your minds back to 2017 and the theatrical release of Justice League. Now, this film didn't have the easiest of productions. The script went through massive changes before and during the production. In May 2017, Zack Snyder stepped down as director of the film following the death of his daughter, and Joss Whedon was hired to come in and finish the film. Whedon was under instruction by Warner Brothers to cut down the runtime and incorporate a brighter tone to the film and also add more humour. The film ended up becoming one of the most expensive films ever made, racking up a production budget of $300 million. Justice League managed to make $657 million at the box office, which at first glance doesn't sound so bad, but when you consider the hidden costs that studios don't tend to reveal, one of those being marketing, which often tends to double a movie's budget, Justice League probably just about broke even. And for a film of this magnitude and what they were attempting to do, that's just simply not good enough. The critic response to this film wasn't great either. The film was released to fairly bad reviews, and all of this forced the higher-ups at Warner Brothers to really switch gears and reconsider where they were going with the DC Extended Universe. Now, immediately after the theatrical release of Justice League, fans created an online petition to release the Snyder Cut that gained over 180,000 signatures. There was also a campaign started across all social media platforms using the hashtag Release the Snyder Cut. Incredibly, it wasn't just fans getting behind the movement. Members of the cast and crew also began to show their support, including Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher, storyboard artist Ray Olivia, and Ben Affleck's stunt double Richard Citron. Notable figures outside the film's production also showed their support for the movement, including Kevin Smith, comic book writers Rob Liefeld, and Robert Kirkman. The support that this film has received is kind of unbelievable. I think I read somewhere once that this is the most tweeted about movie of all time. The lengths that fans went to get this film released is completely unbelievable. They bought ads, they did crowdfunding, truly amazing stuff. During this time, people outside of the movement doubted whether the Snyder Cut even existed. All speculation around whether or not the Snyder Cut actually existed was put to rest on March 2019 when Snyder confirmed his original cut did exist and stated it was obviously up to Warner Brothers to release it. Chairman of then Warner Media and head of HBO Max Robert Greenblatt has since stated that they first approached Snyder with the idea of releasing an unfinished version of Justice League. Allegedly, Snyder refused to release the unfinished version and was only interested in finishing what he started. And then after some negotiations, reassembling the cast, and a cheeky pandemic just to spice things up a little bit, on May 20, 2020, Snyder announced during a Q&A for an online watch party of Man of Steel that his cut of Justice League would be released as Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max in 2021. It was first reported that the film would cost $20 to $30 million to finish, but Greenblatt has since come out and said that the film is going to cost way more than that, as Snyder was given permission to shoot additional footage. This reportedly pushed the budget up to around $70 million. And then, after around 4 years, in January 2021, Snyder confirmed that work on his film had been completed, and Zack Snyder's Justice League was set to be released on March 18th, 2021 on HBO Max. Now, I just want to quickly share my opinions on this whole process before we get into expectations and stuff like that. I genuinely do think that it's incredible that this film was made off the back of fan support, but it also raises the question of, is this going to start a whole trend of directors remaking movies? I mean, I do feel like this is a pretty unique case because Snyder, unfortunately, because of a family tragedy, had to leave the filming of the original Justice League early. I completely understand why he'd want to come back and finish the film and give it another shot, and obviously the fans were passionate enough to get behind it. But since the Snyder Cut was announced, we've heard rumours that David Ayer is going to be having another crack at his Suicide Squad movie, and in all honesty, I don't feel like that film deserves the same treatment. I'm not really too interested in revisiting that film's universe. I don't know if that film has picked up the same traction as this one, but I would doubt it. But let me know in the comment section below, are you wanting to see David Ayer's true version of Suicide Squad? Because in all fairness, apparently there's a load of Joker stuff that was cut out of that movie, which made Jared Leto pretty unhappy. And there does seem to have been a little bit of studio interference there, but we'll see how things develop on that front. I would imagine that the Snyder Cut was a pretty unique case, and I'm not sure that there's another film out there that would manage to get this kind of fan support behind it and have actors and crew members get behind it as well. I mean, we've seen it a little bit with The Last Jedi. There was a campaign out there to get that remade, which I believe is absolute lunacy. I would imagine that this is a pretty unique case, and we might not see anything like this on this scale and this kind of support ever again. I know we've had things like the Donner Cut for the original Superman films, and I mean, that was a completely different thing altogether, but I'm rambling now. Let's move on. Do I think the Snyder Cut will be good? With Zack Snyder's previous outings in the DC universe, I've kind of liked them less and less as they've gone on. I like Man of Steel, thought it was a pretty good Superman movie. Obviously all these films have issues and none of them are perfect, and I can accept the fact that we're not looking at them as perfect films. For instance, I can accept, spoiler alert, Superman kills Zod at the end of that film. I can accept that. I know that some people had an issue with that, but in terms of how entertaining the film was, you know, I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. Then we come to Batman vs Superman, and I have to be honest, I liked it less than Man of Steel. When I left the cinema in 2016, I was fairly positive about it, but upon rewatching it, I have kind of soured on it. There's some pretty big decisions that film makes that I don't necessarily agree with. Like, if you're looking at the bigger picture, which is what they're trying to do, they're trying to create a cinematic universe just like Marvel. Is it really the right thing to do to kill one of your biggest names in the second movie? Is it really the best idea to have Lex Luthor introduce all your main characters using PowerPoint slides? Is it really the best idea to have Batman kill? Look, I'm not here to pull these films apart, but the point I'm trying to get at is my love for the Snyder films has gradually decreased since the first outing in the DCEU. As far as the Snyder Cut goes, I do think he should get a chance to finish his film, and I do think that this film should be seen. I will absolutely be watching it the first day that it comes out. I'm just not sure how good it's going to be. And believe me, I haven't already made my mind up about this film. Like, I'm not going into it wanting to hate on it. That's such a stupid attitude to have. I want to like all the films that I watch. Nobody wants to go and watch a bad film. I'm expecting it to be good to okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing the new scenes that he shot for the film, including the one with Jared Leto's Joker, Ben Affleck's Batman. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing all the unseen footage. I've done my best to stay off the internet and not look into this film as much as possible because I do want to be pleasantly surprised at the stuff that I see. I do have a couple of reservations in terms of, are we just going to be seeing everything that Zack Snyder shot for this film? Because I don't know necessarily if that's the best way to come at it. Like, scenes get cut from films for a reason, but this is 4 hours, so this leads me to believe that we're going to be seeing everything. I'm also looking forward to seeing more of Ray Fisher's Cyborg, because I kind of feel like he got screwed over in the first cut of Justice League, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Ben Affleck back in the cape and cowl. I genuinely do believe that he's one of the best aspects of BVS and Justice League. And I made a mistake in my last video because I thought that this was going to be his last appearance as Batman, but it turns out I think he's going to be in The Flash, which is awesome. I also prefer this design of Steppenwolf because I feel the first design was, if I'm going to be honest, a bit shit. I know that's blunt, but oh well. I'm looking forward to seeing Darkseid as well. I worry though that he may be compared to Thanos because they're kind of similar characters in a lot of ways, and if someone just stumbles upon this movie having seen Endgame and Infinity War, I feel like they might compare, which I don't necessarily feel like is a fair comparison, but I guess we're going to see how this is going to play out on screen because they can kind of change characters and switch up their motivations. I think we're going to get a look at Martian Manhunter, which is great because that's a character we've never seen before, so this is the first look at that character, which I'm looking forward to because he's been in the universe a little while. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all the new footage and all the new inclusions and to see what Zack Snyder truly intended. And I know in a lot of ways this isn't actually going to be what Zack Snyder would have originally made because he's had time to add stuff and tweak things, but yeah, this is his version of Justice League and I'm excited to see what happens. So, are you looking forward to the Snyder Cut? Were you a fan of Joss Whedon's version of Justice League? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to subscribe for more comic book movie content on my channel. You can follow me on Twitter here, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.